Hey folks, I'm Rick Palin from Skyfire Interactive, and I want to tell you today about an exciting new product that's coming our way from Fican Guitars in Australia. With me is Stuart Monk, who is the creator of the brand. Say hi to the people out there, Stuart. We're live, being recorded.
Nice to be here.
Now, I could have sat here and told you everything that you wanted to know if I'd have been, well, had a spare lifetime to actually learn it all. So I thought what I'd do is I'd bring Stuart in to actually demonstrate the main points of what this guitar can do, because basically it is a very special bit of equipment. And Stuart, over to you. I mean, basically, what's given you the idea for the guitars in the first place?
Being a performer myself and running a lot of nights, everybody's swapping guitars, you know, acoustic, electric, etc. Always seeing the same type of shape, which is very boring. So it came down to but I actually had an injury to my finger, so couldn't bend my finger, wanted something with a thicker neck, etc. So came down to, I gave this a go about 8-9 years ago, and next thing you know, here we are today. And have this little amazing machine here. Now we have two models of this. So basically we have, this is the shape. Can the camera see the whole of this? Yeah. Yes. So this is one shape. Now this shape derived from here being like the acoustic top and the electric bottom. That's where my design of the shape comes from. On the Tornado 1, which is the first model that came out, they actually have the banjo tuners, which is something cool. We can get different shapes. They do not wind back, stay in tune very, very well, and not lots of turning to actually get to a tune. You know, it's just quite a small amount of turn, and you're down in drop D or whatever. So to them, some people may actually think they're they may not like them. We actually have another model called the Tornado Evolution 2. We don't have one with us here at the moment, but that's another different shape. Conventional tuners, but still does the same thing as this animal does. So that's that. So pretty much how we'll start to explain it now.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So if you want a guitar off me, obviously I have some sort of wood restrictions about what I can actually have or what I can get into the country, but this one particular one here is actually a Tasmanian blackwood with Australian forest oak. Now it's a little bit heavier than some of the woods I do, so it depends if you love this piece of wood. Well, you know, like, I mean, to me it's not heavy, but we do have lighter ones for females, etc. We can suggest a different type of wood. We do any sort of colour scheme, any sort of design. We can etch your band name or whatever up in the headstock here, etc. So, you know, it's totally custom if you wish. So we do custom, but that's not what we're really about. We're actually really about having a brand. And we have a range of models. So we do this one here, which is the acoustic and the electric, and blend. I'll explain that in a minute. We also have coil tapping ones. We do basses, etc., etc. So I mean, you tell me what you want, and we can actually.
You mentioned there about coil tapping. Can you explain that a bit more?
So the coil tapping is basically, these are humbuckers on this particular Tornado, and basically it comes down to, on the coil tapping models, which is another model we've got, you know, you just have to either tap or pull out instead of have humbuckers. It goes to single coil, and most of you guitarists who are electric players out there will know it. So but this one doesn't particularly do this. This is actually humbuckers. So I'll start to explain how this works. So we're getting all sorts of different sounds out of this. It's been likened to great telly sounds from international magazine reviews. We've got two tones of acoustic, so it's like having two acoustic guitars. It's like having a Telecaster. It's like having a Les Paul with your humbuckers, and it's also like having a single coil. We get some great single coil, great jazz sounds out of it, etc., etc. So if you're a slide player, bridge is fully adjustable, so that's even another thing if you want to lift the strings. But the slide players I know who play them, they don't even bother to lift them, they love it just the way it is. So how this one works, so the Tornado is our flagship model. As I said, there's Tornado 1, which is this one, and then there's the Tornado Evolution 2. So you'll be able to see these on, Rick can obviously show you.
Yeah, I mean all
models.
The models will be up on the Skyfire website, dedicated pages and everything else to it, including my own lovely lightning green one, which is rather special bit of kit.
We call that lava. So it's black with the green lava, or we do black with the orange lava. So we do some very special things. But so how this actually works, which is the Tornado. So as I said, the Tornado 1 and the Tornado Evolution 2, they are the same animal, even though they look a bit different. So the other one's just a bit more conventional. So how this works here, we actually have two jack inputs, piezo for here. So basically what happens here is that if we have 1 amp, plug it into this one, because you will get electric and you'll get the acoustic sounds out of your 1 amp. If you've got 2 amps, you can run stereo, you can run that to the electric, you can run this to the acoustic, or acoustic PA or acoustic amp. So how this goes is that 1 amp, put it into here, turn it on, you've actually got acoustic values. Okay, it sounds like a great 12-string beautiful acoustic guitar, and it's a darker sound on that setting. Pull that out and you've got a lighter setting. So it's like having 2 acoustic guitars. You're in a shop, you pick one up off the wall, one's a light sound, one's a dark sound, depending on the wood and the build. So that's the first thing. Then turn that off. So just think of these as volume pots pretty much, actually. So just turn this one on, you got electric. So you got your front back 3-way switch. So your front is your darker sound, that's your brighter sound, and then this is your both together. And then the next thing here we can do is blend. So going back to what I was talking about before, so if we have no acoustic on there, you're just talking about an electric guitar with humbuckers. But to get some single coil, sort of very thin sort of sounds, you actually go back on your humbucker here and you actually pull it out on the brightest tone of acoustic and blend the two of them together. We're getting some great single coil sounds out of that. Turn that off, turn your acoustic off, and you're actually back to just like a standard electric guitar. But the amazing thing is to actually, you know, like I'm on stage, I'll do an acoustic set, and then next thing you know, my intermediate set, I'll do front pickup and with the acoustic, a little bit of electric with that, and I love that sound, you know. By the end of the night, everybody's had a little bit to drink, and and turn the acoustic off, and you're onto a full electric guitar. So there's one guitar needed for your gig. But the amazing thing is that with all different songs you have, you can actually adjust. I like a little bit here, I like a little bit there, and being able to blend an acoustic and electric together with 2 tones of acoustic, swap, around, do anything you want. There's a myriad of actually sounds you can actually make there. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've looked at this from day one since I first saw them is, I know a lot of guitarists want to go for a signature guitar for themselves. Now, they always go for the usual Gibsons or, Strats, whatever. But they're not truly unique, are they? When you compare to something like this.
Well, they were unique in their own right, and I wouldn't run them down because they're...
Oh no, I'm not running them down, don't get me wrong on that, but what I'm trying
to... they've got a place, this is just something new. So, like, if you're on stage, and you will be noticed with one of these guitars. So the first thing is people want to know what it is, If they're not a guitarist, they'll walk past you. If they're a guitarist, they'll be looking, they'll want to talk. It's a great conversation piece, and you definitely will look unique because, it's just something that's been around So your other companies have been around for like 100 years, whatever, where, you know, we're coming on and just trying to offer something a little bit different, you know. Not too expensive, you know, like, we've got to do it. We know musicians don't earn huge amounts of money half the time, so it comes down to we're here to stay and we're here to actually get them out there, so it's no good trying.
Well, if it's like most guitarists I know in this country, will sell their own grandmothers to get a new one. So
yeah, and 67 isn't enough. And why buy your 7th Strat? You know, like, it comes down to something different. So yeah, so you will be able to get great sounds out of this that you will not have, which before you would have had to have had 3 or 4 guitars. So sit down with your mates, and you know, if they're playing an acoustic guitar, one of the things good to mention about the acoustic guitar also is that a lot of guys will actually say, you know, I get drowned out on stage, I'm the front man with an acoustic guitar, but the electric guys drown me out. At the moment we have this set inside where your acoustic and electric, so one's not too louder than the other, they're set around the same, they're set at the same value type thing. But if you actually want your acoustic guitar to be more powerful, this little system here actually has a battery in there, and the electric side doesn't need a battery, but because they're passive. And that's worth telling you that they're passive. But with this here, this actually has a battery. Now we have an adjustment inside where we can turn that sucker up, and you'll blow those electric boys away with the sound. So you won't drown out being an acoustic guitar player up against your electric guys in a band situation. So yeah, so I mean, people like the look, they like something new. We're not for everybody. It's like people buy Fords, people buy Hondas, people buy Rovers, you know, but we can actually try whatever you want to actually do. Now there's one other very thing it's important to say to you, that if somebody says, what are these pickups? Okay, we actually run Damasio's, usually use like an Air Norton and a PAF, or there's a